Mr. Kaczmarek, will you call the meeting to order, please?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for September 6, 2012 to order at 8:08 p.m. On roll call, council members Castiglia.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Conboy is absent. Truinsky. Here. Boncino.
Here.
Work. Here. Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless this meeting which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Statement of compliance, whereas Chapter 231, the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of every meeting statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice of the record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is being videotaped, and it'll be on channels 66 and 67 with cable, and that's on Thursday 4 to 7 p.m. and Monday at 2 p.m. So channels 66, 67, Thursday 4 to 7, and Mondays 2 p.m.
76 and 77.
76 and 77? Well, I've been away for a while.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Larry.
Mayor, this evening under the approval of minutes, we have the August 16th, 2012 regular meeting.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Work, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. I did that better than the Democrats did.
Mayor, this evening under the resolutions under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 271-12, payment of bills, Resolution 272-12, confirmation of checks, Resolution 273-12, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 274-12, designate representative and alternate to the Bergen County Community Development Commission for the year June 2012 to June 2013, Resolution 275-12, refund permit number 12-382 in the Building Department, Resolution 276-12, appointment of substitute crossing guards in the Police Department, Resolution 277-12, authorize fire company number 4 coin toss, Resolution 278-12, authorize volunteer ambulance corps coin toss, Resolution 279-12, Chapter 159, insertion of revenue and appropriation for the 2012 Municipal Alliance Grant, Resolution 280-12, cancel stale checks, and Resolution 281, approve application for funding under the Safe and Secure Community Grant Program through the Police Department.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second.
Second.
Mr. Councilman Work, any discussion? These are just ordinary resolutions, nothing emphatic about any of them. Call roll, please.
On roll call, council members Castiglia.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Boncino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, we have no departmental reports tonight, but under applications, we have the St. Leo's Home and School Tricky Tray raffle license and the St. Leo's Home and School 50/50 raffle.
Motion to approve both of those, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Boncino, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Committee reports. Where do you want to start, gentlemen? Bob? Mr. Coletti?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to welcome you back.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
But I must say, Mayor, in your absence, our council president, Keith Work, did a marvelous job. But it is nice to see you again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But thank you.
Regarding the elimination of the school busing due to budget restraints, according to the Board of Education, Chief Johnson and the staff have taken the bull by the horns and implemented, after an extensive traffic study, to assure the utmost safety of our children, as in the following. Additional crossing guards training and equipment have been implemented. Pedestrian signs upgraded, and the DOT has been clearing obstructions at intersections. Our DPW has painted crosswalks and many more safety aspects too numerous to mention. There has been a meticulous effort put forth by our police chief and this governing body to maximize the safety. The municipality has incurred costs during these procedures. However, it's negligible considering the additional safety it brings to our children. For safety crossing info, you residents out there that want to know the ideal spot for crossing, you will log on to the Elmwood Park Schools with an S.org, elmwoodparkschools.org, or you can phone 201-796-8700, 201-796-8700, extension 2974. Mayor?
Thank you. Councilman Chawinski?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. On the fire department, I attended their meeting last night. It was a little delayed, but they did have a house fire in Spidell Ave. If anybody saw the papers, it was brought under control relatively quick. It was a front bedroom, a lot of smoke damage, and we'd like to commend also the police department just blocking the street off real quick and getting the people out of the house. The firemen will be at the Wildwood Convention coming up soon. But all firehouses will be in service with a skeleton crew and backup from the mutual aid towns such as Saddlebrook, Fairlawn, Garfield, and Patterson. There was last night also a South Bergen Chiefs meeting for all the chiefs of the fire departments of all the mutual aid towns. And I'd like to make a note on this. These people are all volunteers that give up their time. And they're really dedicated. They give up the time to go to these meetings and keep up on all the latest equipment and the training that's necessary. And it's all volunteer, ladies and gentlemen. They don't ask for, we don't pay them like we do our other services. In October, there will be another boater safety course for anyone that's interested by the state police. It will be September 26th and October 3rd from 7 to 11. It's 2 nights. Non-fire people or police department people will have to pay a fee of about $35. And lastly, I know Tom is not here tonight, but I would like to mention, as you've seen around the town, the Chamber of Commerce and Association with the PBA has sponsored a 5K run on September 23rd, which will take place in the borough. And all the information is posted on in the shopper and on various stores, and that you'll see brochures out there. It'd be nice if everybody can attend. It's to raise funds for the Leader Boys and one of the police department sons. What's his name? Ponzi?
Yeah.
Ponzi. Right? Ponzi. And last but not least, there was no insurance meeting this month. So this past week, rather, it'll be probably coming up this Wednesday. And also, we're still work in progress. The continuance of the continued CO will be at the next work meeting if anybody's interested in attending.
Thank you. Councilman Burt?
Thank you, Mayor. The Elmwood Park Health Department will be continuing offering the free adult consultation and child health clinics to the residents of Elmwood Park. The next free adult consultation and blood pressure clinic will be held on September 18th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Elmwood Park Senior Center, located on Market Street and the Boulevard. No appointment is required, and walk-in residents are welcome. This clinic is open to the residents of Elmwood Park, Saddlebrook, and Lodi over the age of 18. The next child health clinics, which also includes free immunizations, will be held on September 10th. It's Monday evening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and September 17th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And please remember, the immunizations required by the Board of Education are available at these clinics. These clinics are by appointment only. Please call the Elmwood Park Board of Health at 201-996-2038 to set up your appointment. And the child health care clinic will be held in the clinic room in the lower level of the municipal building. You can use the Market Street entrance for the clinic. And once again, to remind you, the Elmwood Park Board of Health is currently signed on with 2 shared service agreements with Saddlebrook and Lodi. And realizing the success, they are coming up with a plan to add on additional shared service agreements with additional municipalities. And of course, the mayor and council will be considering these added shared services in the near future because it will entail probably hiring another inspector for the health department. So we have to go over the numbers and take a look at that. As everybody knows, it's the time of the season when mosquitoes come out in droves. Mosquitoes are the major concern of the spread of the West Nile virus. As everybody has read in the news, there's been outbreaks of the West Nile virus in a number of states. Fortunately, it hasn't been in New Jersey, but there has been one case reported in Bergen County. It is very important to remove any standing water from your property to prevent mosquitoes from breeding. Mosquito eggs are found in any standing water, so it's very important to cover unused swimming pools, change water in bird baths, empty water in old tires, and clean your roof gutters regularly. Also, our health officers has been trying to reach Bergen County to see if they are considering spraying the Bergen County Park. I know there is standing water in there, so it's better to be to prevent it instead of waiting until West Nile virus hits us. As Bob Cletty said, I was sitting in the middle here, and I did forget to mention something last meeting. I just want to thank the police department, fire department, Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Elmwood Park Recreation Department, Chamber of Commerce, and Councilman Tom Conboy for their efforts that made Elmwood Park National Night Out a tremendous success. I would hope this event would continue to grow as it gives the residents of Elmwood Park the opportunity to meet the members of the police department, fire department, and the ambulance corps. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia, Councilman?
Oh, okay, Mayor. Sure. Councilman Coletti mentioned the Board of Education. He was on vacation. I filled in at the meeting for him. He's right on top of everything. What he told you was what was going on there. I just wanted to bring out a couple of points that I found were interesting. Before the meeting started, they had a closed meeting on bullying. I guess that's a problem developing all over the place now. Of course, we weren't invited into that meeting, but they did come up with some corrective actions that they will be starting with. Hope that works out. Also, let me see, Board of Education. I asked them to speak slowly because I needed to take notes, but they didn't listen to me. Okay, so I'm trying to go through this stuff. Also, they were looking for volunteers. This is another thing I found interesting. Certain people get stipends, pay for. Remember the Italian club in high school and the chess club and all those other clubs. The advisor for that usually it's a stipend. So they're going to be looking for volunteers now. I guess teachers or students that will step up and help them out with that. Of course, you're not going to get paid for it. It's volunteer work. Try to save some money. Also for for those the club advisors and oh boy, these notes are terrible. Looking for volunteers. Oh, and assistant coaches also. I got it scribbled here. I didn't even see it. They were looking for help with assistant coaches also. I guess that's I guess you have to apply for something like that. You don't just walk in. Okay. Also, what I thought was, I hope this doesn't really happen, but freshman football. We had 9 people sign up. 9 students sign up for freshman football, which I thought was kind of. And of course, if they only have that amount of kids signing up, we're not going to have a freshman football team. And one of the points they did bring out, they were talking about having a busing analyst in. They called it human busing, which I guess would be kind of like carpooling only with people. They would get a group of kids together and I guess they would be assigned to walk to school together, so they could watch each other cross the streets, and if any strangers come up, there's a group of kids together. Sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, they're looking into it. I'm sure they'll work it out. The only thing I have, Mayor, is I have a couple of reminders on recycling. Everybody puts their yard waste out on recycling day when you put your cans out and your paper. That comes to a close around the middle of October. October 11th will be the last day that we're picking up the yard waste in barrels, your grass clippings or whatever you might put out in barrels. Each section is different. Section 1, the last day will be October 8th. Section 2, October 9th. Section 3 is on the 10th, and Section 4 is on October 11th. That's the last pickup. Leaf cleanup, the leaf pickup in the streets will start on the 22nd of October and run until December 20th. One other thing, Mayor, I just wanted to bring up. I'm a professional. I'm a pesticide applicator. I'm licensed with the state of New Jersey. We got letters this year about the fertilizer. about regular lawn fertilizer. Everybody fertilizes their own lawn, or they have somebody come in to do it. The problem that's developing is that in the water table, they're finding amounts of phosphorus that are way over what should be in there. And that's from the fertilizers. Mostly your lawn fertilizer. I mean, when you fertilize a little plant in front of the yard or something, that's no big deal. But the lawn fertilizer, so much of it is put down that that's what's causing the problem. Now, me as a pesticide applicator, I can't even put down fertilizer anymore without going and taking another test. That's how serious it's getting. But homeowners, of course, can still just go put fertilizer down on their own. The thing that you should watch for, when you look at a bag of fertilizer like Scott's, it has 3 numbers on the back. It might say 30-4-4. That middle number, look for something that says 0, or as close to 0 as possible, because this could develop into a big problem if that stays in the water table for quite a while. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Bonsino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. And welcome back.
Thank you.
And as Councilman Coletti said, Councilman Work did a fantastic job.
You have to tell me also?
We did catch him trying to wheel your chair out to the parking lot. We got to stop him. Last month, we swore in 2 new police officers in our department, Officers Wood and Rodriguez. And as expected, coming to the borough with experience, they hit the ground running and have assimilated into our department. They did have to get through a mountain of policy paperwork to get on the job, but that's working well and as expected. This week we'll complete the collection of resumes or applicants for the positions of dispatcher that we're looking for to add down in the police department. And Chief Johnson will start evaluating the applicants and making decisions in the coming weeks. To follow up with Councilman Coletti's comments relative to the situation at the schools and busing, our police department was out in force the first day of school yesterday to monitor the traffic situation around all the schools, the elementary schools and the middle and high school. They wanted to look at how the traffic was flowing, where the areas that might be problematic. The first day, obviously, people are trying to assess what's best for their particular family situation. So I imagine over the next week or so, things will tend to level out. And Chief Johnson and the department, they're going to monitor that over the next couple of weeks and make some recommendations if any changes should be made. As Councilman Coletti also mentioned, the crossing guards were trained and deployed. On the Board of Education website, the listed locations for crossing guards are indicated, along with preferences for where to cross major thoroughfares. It's key to point out that the police will be monitoring the traffic for obeying traffic laws. So I'll ask the residents, if you're driving around the schools, dropping off students, to obey the traffic regulations, whether it's a one-way street, a stop sign, stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk, which here in New Jersey I know is a pretty difficult concept to get a handle on, and whatnot. If you recall, last year we looked at the Gilbert Avenue traffic outside the middle school, and we made some changes to turning off of Gilbert and onto Gilbert to alleviate some congestion that was there. And one thing that was noted yesterday, some of the drop-offs and pickups were occurring, and drivers were taking advantage of the time durations on those restrictions and getting there beforehand. And that kind of defeats the purpose of what we tried to do. What we tried to do last year, we did with the safety of the children in mind. And I went firsthand last year and witnessed what was going on down there. And it was pretty surprising what parents were letting their kids do. Get out of the car on the traffic side. And all I'll say is you have to use common sense and please obey the traffic laws, because the police will enforce those laws. Relative to the crossing guards, he's asked all the crossing guards to monitor the pedestrian traffic over the next week or two, and he'll reassess depending on volume. We may make recommendations to move those locations. But we'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks. Finally, just be safe and have a good school year.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin, no report. I just have a couple of things I want to say. In regard to the school and the traffic, I was at the opening session this morning, yesterday morning, and also this morning. And quite frankly, the high school, I was there. They have to be, I believe it's 5 after 8. And both days, yesterday and today, there was a lot of traffic, but it absolutely stopped at about 3 minutes after 8. So the kids were getting in school on time, okay, considering it's the first day. The pickup at 2:45 was a little bit more hectic. There were some problems and I have to thank the police department, and I have to thank all of the people involved from the Board of Education. They were inside the property. I don't know what they were doing, but it worked well. So I want to congratulate them and our police department. We had police officers all over. One of the things that I think has to be done is some of the parents or whoever's driving the kids to school have to understand that if you're on Gilbert Avenue, you don't make a U-turn. You can't go back against the traffic again. So just a lot of common sense things that hold it back. Yesterday, school let out at 2:45. By 3 o'clock, there wasn't any traffic on Gilbert Avenue. It had complete. That's not bad. 15 minutes on the first day, considering some glitches that are going to occur. And I was there today, and I checked it out about 11, 12 minutes, and it was clear. So it's working. There's some problems that we're working at. The chief, in fact, yesterday, Chief Johnson was in front of the school directing traffic. So everybody was out. And one other thing, I noticed, and maybe some other people will see it, traffic guards, school crossing guards. You may see 2 of them at one corner. That's because one is training the other, and I think they need, 40 hours, am I correct?
Something like that.
Yeah, so, I was saying, why don't they have one on Washington and one on Lincoln? Well, they have to be trained, so it's 40 hours. That's a lot of time on one corner. But it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was perfect today, but 15 minutes to pick up all the kids that had to be picked up was not bad at all, considering the first 2 days. I'm going to read a letter that I have, and I usually don't read these letters, but I want to read this one. It's, Dear Mayor Mola, Sir, I hope all is well with you and your family. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of my mother and the entire Herniak family. On Tuesday, July 19th, my mother fell in her house, breaking her hip. She is recovering nicely, and we expect her home in a few days. We would like to thank sincerely the Elmwood Park Police Department for its awesome help that they provided. Their responsiveness, kindness to my mother in her time of need is a clear example of the Elmwood Park Police Department's dedication and professionalism. I know you are proud of all that they do for this borough, and I want to pass this along to you with my heartfelt thanks. A similar letter was written thanking Charles Canniaro for his subcode official in the building department. The reason I'm reading this letter is it's signed by Garrett Herniak, Major General, United States Air Force. This general, Major General, who was in charge of the Air Force Nuclear Weapons Center, that's all the nuclear weapons located in the United States. Where'd he graduate from? East Patterson High School. The graduate from our high school, and he delivered a commencement address 2 or 3 years ago. It was great, and he still remembers, and I appreciate this letter. It's got to go to the police department and everybody else. And what I'm going to try to do, I see someone from the press here, I may put it in as a letter to the editor, just not that he thanked us and thanked the police department. That's all well and good, but I want people to know that we do a good job with our education here, and we have a Major General. And when I spoke to him 2 years ago, this is a man who has piloted every airplane we have in the Air Force. He said, you name it, I flew it. So I'm very pleased to do that. And secondly, I just want to mention this. I know Councilman Cherwinski would be pleased to know this. I recently came back from the Republican Convention in Tampa, Florida. And while I was there, one of the fire department members saw me before I left. And he said, Mayor, I know you have a hat with the emblem of the fire department on it. I know they go around the floor and they take pictures. Please wear the hat, because if I see your picture somewhere and you don't have the hat on, there's going to be trouble. So I put the hat on, and it's very interesting to learn that how many people in that convention hall respect members of the fire department. They all thought I was a member of the fire department. And they thanked me for my service in the fire department and so forth. And I wasn't going to stop and tell them I'm just the mayor, but I have the hat on. And there was a picture of myself and 2 other officials from Bergen County and the Bergen Record the other day. I don't have the hat on because it was the induction services there, but you can see the hat on the bottom. So if anybody asks,
All right.
and that was an exciting situation for the convention, but another plus for the fire department. And again, I'd like to thank the police chief and everybody else involved with the traffic and everything else at the school. I thought they did a commendable job considering it's the first time, and there still has to be some improvement. And they'll check it out and improve on it as they go along. Thank you. May I have a motion to open to the public, please? Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by Mr. Castiglia. All in favor, opposed?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak, please go to the microphone, give us your name and address. If it's nasty, please wait till the meeting's over. If it's not nasty, you can tell us now. No, I'm just teasing.
Please say my name.
Name and address. Pull the microphone down for you, please.
Rank and serial number.
Gladys Griskowitz, 256 Fensack Avenue, Elmwood Park. I have a couple of things, but one thing I wanted to ask. I had an emergency at my mother's house on last Saturday. Normally, I would call the Elmwood Park Police Station, but they've implemented an answering machine, which takes forever to get to, someone to answer an emergency. So I dialed 911. My question is, when I dial 911, where is that route? Is that routed to the Elmwood Park Police Station?
That's Elmwood Park. We don't have anybody else. We do it all.
Only for the fact that they went to Martha Avenue, all the way on the other side, on River Road. And, I clearly stated 259 Fensack Avenue off the boulevard, because there's two Fensack Avenues. I commend them, I appreciate everything that they do. They volunteer. I wouldn't have the stomach to do that. But I just, was wondering, my sister's name is Martha, and they went to Martha Avenue.
That's understandable.
And the police had said to me when they were in my mother's house, they must have looked at the caller ID. And my mother did pass away. It didn't have anything to do with their delay, but it could have for someone else. So I just think that's something that maybe they should address, rather than look at the caller ID.
We'll talk to them about it.
Excuse me?
I said we'll talk to them and see if we can clarify.
And Mayor, if I may, through you, any emergency, we advertise for residents to dial 911.
I did.
The main number to the police department is the non-emergency number, which is the reason that you received a recording. That'll direct you to the detective bureau or traffic division or the chief or anything of that nature.
Okay.
I also have a problem with that, as the council knows. If you want just a desk, you have to go to number 8.
Yeah, I would like to hear someone,
Voice?
a human, answer that phone. I don't like the answering system. But anyway, it is what it is. I would like to talk about the elimination of school busing. Bob Floody and I have gone into it in detail. Today, my husband and I were there at pickup, both days, and I thought it was absolute chaos. And I had first thought when they eliminated busing, the problem would be the children walking to the school, but the real problem is the cars that are approaching the school and leaving the school. It's like 4 lanes of traffic trying to get into the 2 lanes of the Lincoln Tunnel. And I don't see it getting any better for the fact that Tombo keeps saying that enrollment is getting higher and higher. And parents don't want their children walking. And we don't even have bad weather yet. And it was pure chaos today. I was with you. I came alongside of you and I asked Chief Johnson, do you think this is safe for our children? And his answer was no. So to me, when you have the man saying that this is not safe, to me, he should have the final say. It's not safe. Leaving that school every day, it's a nightmare. The traffic was backed up from the front of the school all the way to the Twisted Elm, as well as the other side. And there happened to be a fire happening on Tuesday. The police were trying to get through. They could not get through. There was just no way that they could get through to the traffic. So, I feel that Mr. Tomko should have gone over that budget and really looked at it, because it's a danger to the children, and it's also for the community. I have a neighbor who's trying to sell his house, and they ask, well, where's the bus stop? Well, there isn't a bus stop. Where's the school? Across the highway. Well, bye-bye. People will not have their children crossing highways. Both parents have to work today, and I just think that eliminating busing is a big hardship. And the fact that Dr. Tomko led the people to believe that there would be subscription busing all the way up until a week before school was wrong. And, they're all scrambling around to try to get people to take their kids to and from school. So I think that, he's in the Shopper newspaper, he stated that he has financial constraints. They're on a hiring freeze. But in the Bergen Record, he's advertising to hire 3 coaches. Or is that free? Are these volunteer coaches? Because I have it right here, the paper, that he's looking to hire 3 coaches. But he eliminated honors math, peer group, the Italian club. I can go on and on and on. But yet the sports on the superintendent's agenda said TBD. And he kept all of them, because now he's hiring coaches for all of them. So, my question is, where are the shared sacrifices here? Here is his budget to the executive superintendent, Mr. Gilmartin, on his budget for 2012-13. And his increase, the biggest increase for the operating budget was salary increases. Okay, so for the district staff, where are the sacrifices, the shared sacrifices here? You have principals, assistant principals, assistant athletic directors. It goes on and on and on, but no one cares about the children. The $300,000, they hired a business analyst 2 months ago. $40,000. She went from $13.50 an hour as a teacher's assistant to a $40,000 job. His answer was that he couldn't find anyone to do it any cheaper. I'll do it for cheaper. Okay, you could have saved $10,000, $15,000 on that position. So my question is, what's going to happen here? Will we ever get busing back?
Well, if I can answer that, as you know, there will be an election of school board members in November, same day as the regular election, and people can run for the school board. We, as a council, don't have any authority over the school board budget or anything that they do there. So when something comes up, we defer to the school board, Board of Education, the members. I can't answer those questions for you. I'm not disagreeing with you. Maybe it needs some further research or whatever, but they have to be addressed to the board members and to Dr. Tomko at their regular meetings. We're trying to help out as much as possible.
And I appreciate that, because the chief and all his men did a fine job, but how long will they stay there?
I will tell you, because tomorrow, no one's going to see this on television tomorrow, but they're not going to be there tomorrow. They're giving it a day off, and they want to see how it works without the police. That's what I'm told.
Okay.
And then, and if there's a problem, they'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They just want to see, they'll have somebody there watching incognito, so to speak, and see if the people pick up the right patterns and do what they have to do. You mentioned that they were backed up to the Twisted Elm.
Yes.
I don't doubt that, because I was at that corner. That comes about because people are trying to get into the front of the building off River Road, and they were backed up on River Road trying to get in there.
But I have to use River Road entrance.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
All 6th and 7th grade parents, and also if you have a child in 6th grade or a child in the high school, you're to leave off the youngest child with the oldest child in the front. So there's a lot of confusion here.
Well, first day, second day, I expect that, and it may even go further than that. But we're working with them. We purchased signs, the striping, and everything else, And I think they're going to be purchasing more signs on Gilbert Avenue because people are parking before they, let me just emphasize this and then I'll cut it short. Before they got the cones up at the entrance of Gilbert off River Drive, people were coming in that way and they were parking on the side of the street facing the Gilbert Avenue school. People came down Gilbert Avenue, parked on the other side. So you had cars parked on both sides of the street, a car coming down, and the car going up. You can't do that. There isn't any room. So that's going to be eliminated by eliminating parking for an hour or so before the kids get out of school and have a police officer there saying you can't park there. This afternoon, they only had one car parked there because they were telling them they can't stay. So they're trying to improve it. Will it ever be good? I don't know.
It won't be, because last year I was there and it was chaotic then.
Mm-hmm.
Now having absolutely no busing will not improve it. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. It will not improve. And having additional kids come into the district, I can tell you tomorrow, with no police there will be every illegal turn that's possible. Because people make that left turn because then they head over to Gantner Avenue School.
Well, he's going to try it out and see what happens. But
Okay, and you know, I actually
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Excuse me?
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Mayor, can I just add, that's what
I have
he's going to do.
actually written.
Our police liaison,
Yeah, I just wanted to add, we're doing that by intent. We're not going to be at the site every day over the next couple of weeks because he wants to see exactly, as you pointed out, what's going to happen, because the perception is the police are going to be there all the time to monitor that, but quite frankly, they have other things that they have to do in the borough. If there's a car accident, if there's something else, they have to be there. So you won't see that police presence throughout the school year. And it's obvious that there's going to be a problem. It's going to be up to the adults, not the kids, to figure out to obey the traffic laws and whatnot.
See, but you have 3 lanes of traffic you coming into the front. And what happens is the people, when you're pulling this way and they're coming this way, they will not let you go over to this side. I have been forced, and a lot of other parents, to make that illegal left because the people would not let us come over to the right and make that right to go on to Lincoln or Washington. And that's another problem. When you make that right onto Washington, right at the end of that block is the 11th and 12th grade drop-off and pickup. So that is a mess back there as well. So now everyone is taking the second block, which is Lincoln. And that's, everything is a mess. I just don't see it getting any better. I mean, I called and written Assemblywoman Chevron Sempler, Senator Nellie Poe, the Honorable James Simpson, Robert Gilmore, who is the executive superintendent, who obviously doesn't care because he has never returned any of my phone calls or anyone else's phone calls that has called. Because back in March, when Tomco submitted this budget, it was actually March 27th, he advised the executive superintendent that he was eliminating busing. So he knew back in March that there would be no busing. And then to lead the parents on to believe that he was going to get subscription busing for us. And he said he called everyone. Well, I called John Leckie Busing in Hackensack. Said, sure, I'll do it. Okay? He gave me a price of $800 for a $800 a kid for a 54-passenger bus. He said, but if you have more buses, I can work with you. Okay, so you didn't call everyone. I called Scholastic Busing Company. They said that they can do it. And I also called First Student Bus Company, and they said they would be able to do it. So he said at the board meeting that he couldn't get any busing company to take it. That he called everyone. That's not true.
Well, I think you have to go to the next meeting and present just as you're doing it now and say you personally called and there was room.
I try to, but, I don't really get anywhere there. And, I think a couple of people know that,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? I just want to make a comment, and Councilman Boncino has indicated it's up to the adults with their driving. Coming out of Gilbert Avenue onto River Drive, they had only a right turn. I saw a car go up, maybe 3 or 4 cars up He made a U-turn on River Drive with all that traffic coming down. He stopped people from coming south on River Drive. He was going north, or she, whatever it was. I said, I can't believe on River Drive with all this traffic making the U-turn.
That's what I said, it's the cars that are more of a problem than the actual walking. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Mayor, can I just ask Larry a question? Because I didn't get to that Board of Ed meeting. I heard a rumor. I just would like to ask him. He probably knows the answer. Did the school board okay another round of iPads for the school? Was that on the agenda?
I believe it was, and I believe they did.
How much was that, did they say?
I don't have anything in my notes about it. I don't know. Maybe Gladys can remember it for you.
But
You there?
I think it's like 53,000.
All right, because right now we have 7th to 9th graders. They didn't. I know they were going to do another round. Just curious.
Yeah.
He's implementing.
We cannot hear you on the TV.
You won't get. You can show over here.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience?
Okay.
If not, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by Council President and
Ex-council.
ex-mayor.
Exactly, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye, Kevin.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I will repeat before he shuts off. If you just tuned in and you want to know when they're going to be on again, it's Thursday on channel 76 and 77.
Right.
Cablevision, Thursday 4 to 7, and Monday at 2 p.m. Okay? Thank you very much.
You gotta show me that they smell like.